What is up, residents of the Mysta-Clan? This is your boy 6mice the Man coming at y'all with a brand new video. So today we're going into part 3 of what if Naruto had a fox sage mode / was a fox sage. I really know y'all have been wanting this. Y'all have been really showing support to the previous 2 parts, and I really thought I'll just gift y'all by throwing this in the mix. And I might be continuing this over the span of the next few days, really get a few parts out there. But I want to go over some stuff before we start. So in the last part, we left off with the start of the academy days. I decided that I was going to skip the rest of the academy because that was just kind of a pretense like what would happen beforehand. And throughout the series, I'm going to flash back to the academy and just explain some stuff. Naruto's going to go through a lot of changes, have a new look. He's going to be a lot cooler. And yeah, let's just get into it. So we start off with Naruto just sitting there. Him and his friend Kiryu have been sitting there for a while, it seems, when the rest of the class walks in, basically scoffing and just sitting down. It seems like most of the class don't like Naruto and Kiryu per se. It also seems that they're usually in class hours before it starts. This is a curious situation, but they move on. As the day progresses, a specific test is brought up. And this test would be the cloning jutsu. Any form of cloning is actually okay because of people like Shino, who makes bug clones, I think it is. But whatever. So this is obviously the graduation test. Everyone has to at least make 1 perfect clone, 3 to actually pass. So Naruto would be put last because Iruka just wants everyone to see what a true prodigy is, because in this one Naruto is really good. So Sasuke would go up and is able to make 5 perfect clones, trying to show off a little, and Iruka would call up Kiryu would come up and do the clone jutsu, making 7 perfect clones just to dunk on Sasuke. Obviously he scoffs like, hey, nothing important, blah blah blah. And this is when Naruto comes up. Iruka tells him to do the jutsu and winks at him, and he knows this is his time to show off. He said, well, let's go outside. Iruka would say that, okay, the physical exam is coming up and anyway, so we could just as well move outside. When they get outside, Naruto goes through the hand signs and makes 50 perfect clones. Obviously, this pisses off most of the class because Naruto in these years has literally just been there to piss off Sasuke. He's kind of made it his little side goal for this series, just to annoy the absolute shit out of the Uchiha, who thinks he's better than everyone else. So Naruto would be the rookie of the year, and Kiryu in second, Sasuke in third, so Sasuke is not that important off the bat. So we are gonna move on through the 1 week time skip. I'm gonna just say in that 1 week time skip, Kiryu and Naruto train most of the time, and it's time for them to meet Kakashi. Kakashi would be late, and I'm replacing Sakura with Kiryu if you remember, so Sakura is really not a problem. Kiryu, Sasuke, and Naruto are all put on the team because they were requested by Kakashi. So they're all put under Kakashi, and Naruto and Kiryu leave as soon as Iruka says, wait up for your senseis. Everyone's like, where are you going? To them, and they're like, our sensei is Kakashi Hatake. He's known for being late. He's gonna be here a few hours late, so we're just gonna come back in like 2-3 hours. Everyone would be like, okay, you're probably gonna fail because of your laziness. So Naruto and Kiryu will leave, go do some light sparring, whatever, and actually run into Kakashi outside. He'd ask them why they're outside of class, shouldn't they be waiting for their sensei, and they'd be like, oh, Kakashi, yeah, we knew you were gonna be late, you're always late, you literally have a reputation for this. So we thought we'd get some training in while we still could. So we heading over? Yeah, sure, Kakashi would say with a bright smile. Basically, Kakashi would send in a clone into the school building to go fetch Sasuke, while him, Naruto, and Kiryu all just use chakra to walk up the side of the building. Kakashi wanted to show them something cool, but they could already do it from way earlier in their childhood. Kakashi would also see that they have quite a mastery over it because he would sense that the amount of chakra that Naruto is outputting isn't near someone of his caliber should be putting out. So this means that he has a lot of control over his chakra, especially the dormant parts. So When Sasuke gets up there, he's surprised to see them, and they'd say they ran into him, and he'd be like, whatever, okay, can we just start? Kakashi would be like, okay, introduce yourself, emo boy, and he'd give the entire speech he gave in canon, because I decided to kill off the Uchiha, because I could, because I didn't want to explore a lot of timelines like that. So he'd give the same speech, and he'd look over to Kyu like, how about you, girl? And Kyu would just say, interesting. I'm just here to help my friend Naruto. Kakashi would ask, are you a fangirl? And she'd say, actually no. Me and Naruto have just been good friends since we were kids. I just respect him and his decisions. Kakashi would basically shrug it off as just being odd and then look at Naruto. Naruto in a calmer posture would say, well, I want to become Hokage. Obviously Sasuke would be like, you Hokage, pff, never. Kakashi would look over at Sasuke and say, well, that's coming from third best. He was Rookie of the Year, which makes him more likely to become Hokage than you, little emo. Stop calling me that! Sasuke would scream out, and Naruto would laugh. I want to become Hokage to protect this village and the people that I love, the people that I care about, the people that showed me kindness. That's my ultimate goal, to protect the ones I love and make this world a better place. Kakashi would be happy that Naruto was groomed into such a good young person, but also feels bad that he wasn't there to help create this. He'd explain that they shouldn't eat in the morning and that they should show up, but Naruto and Kyu would be basically, they're too into a routine to not eat. They'd be like, we go training after eating all the time, so we're good. After leaving, they'd just go through their daily routine like normal. In the morning, eat breakfast, and also show up like 2 hours after Kakashi told them to. They still waited another hour before Kakashi actually showed up, and Sasuke was like, you're not supposed to be late, and Kakashi was like, they were here before I was, so it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I'm dunking on Sasuke a lot, but I'll expand on his character later in the series, making him a little more important, not as important because this is about the foxes and Naruto, at least in this situation. So we move on to Naruto basically asking why they're there, and Kakashi would explain the exercise. Off the bat, Kyu and Naruto would know that the shinobi's greatest basically strength is teamwork, because this has been pointed out multiple times in their training, because they're more of like a duo within the tribe themselves, if you will, like the Fox Clan tribe, whatever you want to call them, the Fox Village, I don't know. They're like two partners. They've always been together, always fought together, and were really good by adapting with other people's fighting styles to be able to fight with them. So straight from the start, they are trying to team up with Sasuke, but Sasuke doesn't want to know anything about it. But they also make it apparent to Kakashi that they're trying to team up, and even in the forest, they'd wait until Kakashi wasn't either in earshot or had concentration on them, and they tried to approach Sasuke, and he shrugged them off, and they'd jump out and say, you heard that, right? He doesn't want to cooperate. We know that this is a teamwork exercise, but him not working together can't really help us. So Kakashi would say, close enough. Why don't you two just fight together then, if it's about teamwork? Naruto and Kyu would just fall back and basically formulate a plan to force Sasuke into working with them, and basically smile. Naruto would peek off in the direction that Sasuke's in, and Kakashi would notice that they're probably planning on doing something with the Uchiha boy. They'd basically make their progression start to attack Kakashi and make it look like they're about to grab the bell, when Sasuke would leap out being like, I can't let them get it, I need to work with. He'd obviously try and trip them up every now and then, but them expecting it would be able to ignore it like it's not happening, and they'd at least grab the bells, and basically Naruto, being the one that grabbed it, would give one to Kyu and one to Sasuke, being like, why don't you pass? Sasuke be like, I don't want your bell, and throw it back to Naruto, and just be like, if I don't pass for my skill, I don't want to pass at all. And Kakashi said, well, then you would have failed because you didn't pass for your skill. You passed because of teamwork. That's what this exercise was all about. Obviously, being just like in canon, it was an exercise about teamwork. Also, Kakashi would say that Naruto and Kyu probably have a lot more they were hiding because they stuck to purely taijutsu. And it was an odd taijutsu at that. He could barely keep up. He had to block attacks he would never even suspect coming from any human being. As he'd point out, Naruto would just giggle and Kyu would pay it no mind. So it's not really that big of a deal. They'd basically just move on to where they'd need to arrive and train with Kakashi. Kakashi would basically focus more on Sasuke in this one because of Naruto and Kyu already knowing a lot. But also them knowing more after them training with Kakashi, or them training with each other and Kakashi training Sasuke. Kakashi, seeing that Sasuke is really far behind these two, would already have started teaching Sasuke water walking and tree walking coming first, obviously, and also he'd start talking to them about elemental nature. Naruto and Kyu would reveal that they both possess wind and lightning style, and that they already have some progression within the two arts because they both have high affinities. So Kakashi would ask them what they have, and they'd basically explain they know how to channel the two types of chakra through items and limbs. Kakashi would question the limbs part, and they'd explain that their form of taijutsu basically requires them to sharpen their nails with chakra, and wind style lets them elongate them. So it really helps. And also lightning is just to boost their body to new speeds and stuff. And Kakashi would ask for them to show him the lightning stuff. Naruto would obviously offer to go first and would take a weird unhuman-like stance on the floor and basically start channeling lightning through his body. Sasuke would just stare on in amazement as Naruto's muscles bulged a little. Not really a lot to make a big difference, but it's a visual difference nonetheless. He'd then start rocketing between the trees and then eventually just land in front of Kakashi with a kunai and said, I couldn't be able to do that without enhancing my body with lightning chakra. Of course, normal chakra I could have used to do the body flicker, but that gives you the drawback of, tunnel vision. Kakashi would be like, thinking to himself, wait, tunnel vision. I could have prevented all of this with my lightning blade if I just enhanced my entire body instead of just my movement with the... Basically, having Kakashi question his own design over his own jutsu. And he basically asked them if they were gonna learn anything from him, and they'd ask if he has anything to teach them. But that is going to be it, guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed. This has been your boy Six, and this has been part 3 of What If Naruto Was a Fox Sage / had Fox Sage mode. And I really hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to smash like and subscribe, comment down below, and check out my boy Riku. He's the one that originally did this and kind of inspired it from the shadows. I kind of forgot he did it, but recently went through his channel and saw it. So shout out where shout out is due. Shout out to the editors. Peace.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Subscribe for more.
Yada yada does it.